Hello, YouTube. Welcome in. We're back to hanging out with some Dungeon Dad, and this is something that came up about a year ago, but it looks a little, appropriate for the time period. So we're going to look into the ALICORN Dragon, or the Unicorn Dragon. Probably by the end of this, we'll be doing another drawing to go along with the video. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I'm adding it to the video, but for now, let's see what happens. Anyway, let's go.
We all know about fairy dragons.
Yeah.
They're the cat-sized draconic pranksters of the Feywild, and if you've ever had a run-in with one of them, you probably either laughed really hard or wanted to tear your hair out in a barbaric.
Also, that dragon, I think, had the little scorpion tail. I think that was actually a pseudo, not a fairy, but still, doesn't matter.
Rage. In either case, due to their antics. But what if I told you they weren't the only dragons from the Feywild? That in fact, there was an entire family of true dragons that live in the seldom understood realm of the Fey. And that unlike the species of fairy dragons we know and love, they don't all behave like pranksters trying to get a YouTube channel off the ground. Well, thanks to our...
Fuck those guys. Just react to a video or two. That'll help you get off the ground a lot better and with a lot less controversy than, yelling at some random people in public and thinking you're funny.
Friends over at Roll for Combat, I have something truly awesome to show you today. Roll for Combat has a series of dragon-centric books with versions for both 5e as well as Pathfinder 2nd edition, and their latest entry is all about fairy dragons. This collection of draconic creatures ranges from the fantastical to the hilarious to the downright terrifying.
This dragon is pouring tea, and they're having like a full-on legitimate tea party. This is hella adorable. What the hell?
But I'm going to show you a preview of what I think is not only mechanically a really interesting monster, but also a very cool addition to the lore of any world where the realm of the Fae might exist. We're talking about the ALICORN Dragon. These absolute mad lads have given us the gift that is an unholy matrimony between unicorns and dragons, which has yielded very interesting results.
That is very unholy, actually. I have a book on floral dragons. Not sure if it's the same group. Probably not the same group, but probably not far off.
Don't let their whimsical appearance fool you. These draconic creatures are capable of incredible acts of mercy as well as terrifying displays of unyielding destruction.
Like any dragon. It's just probably a little bit more whimsical in how it happens.
So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn everything there is to know about one of the weirdest dragons out there.
Yay! What? It's a fun opening theme. What do you want from me? ALICORN Dragon.
The ALICORN Dragon appears in much the same general shape as most true dragons do, though instead of leathery wings, theirs are feathered in a very similar fashion to an angel or Pegasus. They have long manes of multicolored fur, and of course their signature feature, a single unicorn-esque horn atop their forehead.
But that one's got a big cresty horn kind of thing going backwards. What about that?
As neutral good dragons, they are among the most benevolent of their kind, holding themselves to a high standard of pure intentions and virtue. This penchant towards kindness is simultaneously their best.
It's not magic. It doesn't count. Fair. Okay, fair.
And worst attribute. Because while they are not out here oppressing and killing weaker creatures, they're still dragons, which means they carry a certain level of pride, confidence, and perspective that very few other creatures can actually comprehend. If insulted, slandered, or otherwise besmirched, these creatures can quickly turn violent, striking down anyone who would dare call their good name into question. They not only hold themselves to these high standards, but all other creatures as well, which often manifests as a deep mistrust of basically any short-lived species. In their experience, very few creatures actually have the willpower to resist the allure of greed and ambition at the expense of others, and short-lived beings tend to fast-track these destructive tendencies due to their shorter lifespans, necessitating a haste in basically everything. And if you are a pure heart,
can't take it with you, so you might as well get as much as you possibly can before you go, right? That sort of mentality. Leave your mark in a way that matters, and the best way to be able to leave your mark is to be rich. Usually how it goes with most people.
Individual who truly has no ill intent towards anyone, convincing the ALICORN Dragon that this is the case won't be easy. Impassioned speeches and eloquent words will get you practically nowhere with them, as they know how quickly attitudes can change. And that suspicious nature is very difficult to overcome in the amount of time that a human or even a longer-lived humanoid species like an elf or a dwarf might have access to within their lifetime. They do, however, have a soft spot for music and poetry. So if
Shh. Stop it with your fancy words. They are not moving. They are not interesting to me at all, elf. Child. I'm an elf. You're still younger than me. I'm a dragon. Fuck.
if you're capable of creating a beautiful poem or performing an inspiring song, the dragon is way more likely to cut you some slack. That said, there is a limit to that leniency. Freddie Mercury himself wouldn't be able to convince an ALICORN dragon that the village his party burned down was actually not that big of a deal. But whether through artistic expression or some other means, you are able to convince the dragon that you're pure of heart and genuinely do just want to make the world a better place, or at the very least you mean to do no harm to it, an ALICORN dragon can be a very powerful ally. Like all dragons, they do of course have a hoard, and the ALICORN dragon's hoard is truly one of immaculate beauty. They hoard objects they find aesthetic and pleasant to look at. Often these are art objects like paintings or sculptures, but they have a particular fondness for gifts, especially of art that depicts the natural world which they are so enchanted with.
So, the ALICORN dragon is literally just an influencer. It is actually just an influencer. Huh.
And they will proudly display these works in their lairs. ALICORN dragons also have a particular fondness for children and the elderly, viewing the former as innocents who have not yet experienced the way the world can corrupt, and viewing the latter as individuals who have lived long enough to gain some perspective and wish to spend their twilight years in peace. They often adopt orphans, actually, from nearby areas, raising them with an instilled sense of virtue as best as they can, and allowing them to stay in their homelands as long as they don't deviate from the dragon's admittedly high expectations. But before we get more into that, let's talk about where these dragons actually make their home.
A Dragon's Lair, Part 2.
ALICORN dragons are native to the fairy realm in a place called the Obsidian Court. Just looking at them, you might expect their domain to be all sunshine and rainbows, but instead, it's a realm of subdued beauty, populated by massive outcroppings of obsidian pillars and flats dotted with cascading hot springs. They can, however, be found on the material plane as well, especially in areas that contain a gateway or portal to the realm of the Fae. When not in their native environment, they seek out places of pristine natural beauty, favoring idyllic meadows, secluded groves, and calm bodies of water or natural hot springs that remind them of their ancestral home. When they do make a lair on the material plane, it inevitably attracts attention from nearby humanoid settlements who typically have one of 3 interactions with the dragon. If the people of the land are not exactly virtuous, they may try to prove themselves and maybe eventually become that way, or maybe just end up putting up a front, which the dragon is unlikely to not see through. And
no, it's a dragon. I'm sorry, even as an elf who's lived 1,000 years, or a human who has had basically 1,000 years worth of experience lying and conniving, you're not going to be able to lie your way through a dragon who probably has just, discern lies or something like that, just automatically running at all times. They're the masters of seeing through your bullshit. They might let you get your bullshit through, but they're letting you.
If the people of the land are indeed generally villainous and they're going around burning down forests and whatnot, well, that's just gonna be a bad time. If they prove to be virtuous and kind, the dragon may take them under its protection, seeing that their settlements are left alone by those who would do harm to them. In such cases, the townsfolk often revere the dragon and its sanctuary as something akin to a sacred site, making offerings to the dragon and occasionally making pilgrimage to actually visit the dragon in order to request a specific favor of some kind. Most often, these pilgrimages are made on behalf of someone who is sick, hoping for the dragon to grant them a modicum of its healing power. And while there are so many ways that can be utilized as a potential plot hook, before we get into that, let's talk about the actual abilities this dragon has and how they function.
Mechanics. I want to know about his breath weapon. How are we going to put a rainbow into this? I'll save my idea. Like, I already came up with like a plot hook for this dragon already for a campaign. I'll hold on to mine until the end we get into the plot hooks.
Something I really love about the book these dragons come from is that they
Large can get to a neutral good. Armor class 21. Granted, this is a CR 7? No, that's a proficiency 7. I mean, I think that's... Wait, if it's proficiency at 7... Oh god, this thing's challenge rating must be over 20. Hit points, 444. Light speed, 40. Or 80 fly, 40 walk, 26 strength, 18 wisdom, 24 charisma. Oh yeah, it's not going to listen to your bullshit. It's going to sell you its own. Oh no, insight is plus 11. There it is. Yep, you're not getting shit through it, past it.
give us all the standard age categories of each dragon, as well as stats, lore, and artwork for the Great Worm version. In the case of the ALICORN Dragon, that means we have stats ranging from the CR3 Wormling all the way up to the CR28 Great Worm. And while these dragons detest violence, that doesn't mean they aren't capable of doling it out. In addition to the standard array of abilities, bites, and claws, which all dragons have, the ALICORN Dragon also gets a horn attack, which deals a little bit less damage than the bite, but has the potential to blind the target, which situationally can be extremely...
It's going to deal a little less damage than the bite, however, it's still going to leave a tree-sized hole in your chest. I mean, that's just you can just walk that off in a day.
Brutal. Speaking of its horn, another thing of note is that when the dragon casts any spells or uses its breath weapon, it does so through the horn, which is kind of fun.
Makes
in the
sense.
case of its breath weapon, it emits a brilliant rainbow of light in a line that deals a mixture of fire and radiant damage. If the target is undead or a fiend, they make their saving throw at disadvantage, and if any target fails their save by 5 or more, they're also blinded for a round.
Yay!
Something else which is mostly flavor,
Pretty
but
simple.
I think is still cool and is bound to be awesome if it actually comes up, is that if the breath weapon overlaps with an area of magical darkness, depending on the level of the spell that created that darkness, the rainbow might just disperse it entirely, immediately ending the effects of the spell. They also have a cheeky...
That's kind of cool. It's a small interaction, but it's a neat one. And remember, this is actually... Yeah, no, this is coming out in for newer D&D, I guess, technically, right? So there's not a lot of use cases on getting rid of magical darkness, but there's a lot of use cases on using magical darkness, right? So
little reaction, which allows them to make a tail attack against someone who hits them in melee, which is straightforward, but hilarious to me. It just really paints a picture, you know? Oh, wow! And of course, from the...
Get my wife's name off your mouth.
Adult age category onwards, they have a slew of legendary actions, and this is where I feel the Roll for Combat design team really managed to elevate this creature beyond just another dragon stat block. They can do some...
Which, let's be perfectly honest, dragons in 5e are boring. They are so boring. They're all the same fucking thing, just with slightly different numbers between them. Like, the dragons are so unique and different between each one. Like, the white dragon doesn't actually like flying all that much because it's very clumsy at it, but it's extremely powerful and has an eidetic memory. You don't see any of that in its stats. It's just the dumb brute dragon and the weakest dragon, bar none. The red dragon is like a powerful, is like the almighty dragon. Like, you can see that in its CR and its numbers, but like, I still think that a white dragon should be physically stronger than a red dragon. But the reason why the red dragon always wins, aside from, just being better at everything else than just strength, should be because it has like the elemental, what's it called? Advantage at that point. And also, it's strong, not as strong, but still very strong. Blue dragon should have like a lot of leadership and a lot more capabilities going on with their stuff. The green dragon should just come with built-in magic just in general. Like, there should be so much more going on with that, but we don't get any. They're all just the same freaking thing. Claw attack, fly, claw attack, wing flap, tail attack, breath weapon, and it's all the same thing.
Movement, and they can take extra claws or bites, all of which are great, but the real sauce comes from its final 2 abilities. The first of which allows the dragon to teleport up to 90 feet, make a horn attack with advantage, and impose disadvantage on the save to not get blinded. We love
Oh, so it just teleports behind you and then you literally just got stabbed in the back by a dragon. That's almost impressive.
An anime moment mid-fight, but that even pales in comparison to the dragon's resplendent rainbow regalia. This legendary action allows the dragon to surround itself or another creature it can see within 60 feet of it in a shifting nimbus of colorful rainbows and sparking glittering lights. But
It's a double rainbow all the way.
this is more than just a pretty light show. The target sheds light in an area around it, and it gives the target access to a unique reaction called refract rainbows. The way this works is that when the creature wrapped in rainbow light is hit by an attack, it can force the one making the attack against them to make a constitution save, being blinded for up to a minute if they fail. After the reaction is used, the creature can't benefit from the rainbow regalia for the next 24 hours. This is a really cool piece of design because it's a very powerful ability, but it's also limited to the number of creatures involved in the combat. Defensively, this is a cool trick the dragon can use on itself once in battle, but to make full use of it, the dragon needs to be using it on its allies. So if the party's fighting with the dragon, it can be a really cool way to have the creature lend them some extra protection. And if the party's against the dragon, it bolstering its minions is neat, but I would go up even.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. It actually give the dragon some sort of an ability to support its minions. That's actually kind of cool. Gives you a little bit more reason to want to throw minions in with the dragon fight in order to, you know, give a little bit more variety, but also be like, oh shit, not only are we dealing with a dragon, but we're dealing with a dragon that's buffing its minions to being actually problematic. That's terrifying.
A step further to include minions who have the ability to do some kind of attack interception, meaning that they're constantly guarding their draconic leader, making full use of that rainbow shield. There are also variant rules for including spells, so if you want to give this dragon spell casting, which I recommend you do, the book provides us with a full list of what spells to give the dragon at each age category. While young, they can cast Animal Messenger, Charm Person, Heroism, and Lesser Restoration. As an adult, they also gain access to Haste and True Seeing. As an ancient dragon, they
freaking dragon with haste.
They can cast Raise Dead and Scrying, and as a Great Worm, they can cast Banishment as well as Foresight. All of which are...
They're all utility spells, not a single attack spell, which a lot of people are going to see that and be like, ah, this isn't very good for combat purposes. Well, I mean, true, but the only spell it could probably learn at that point that we would even, you know, benefit it in combat that it can't already outdo would be like freaking Meteor Swarm. So who cares?
Just supremely on brand, and will juice up both the flavor and the combat potential of this creature quite a bit. Lastly, they also get a fluff trait called Animal Empathy, which allows the dragon to communicate in a simple manner with beasts while speaking Draconic, which I love. Now, as you can see, these dragons came to play, and also to play. And there are so many cool ways we can use this creature, so let's talk about some of them.
My thought is that you come across a village that they have a tradition where they kind of have like a symbiotic relationship with the dragon, right? The dragon will come down and protect them once in a while from like actual large threats. They won't come down and help them from like, I don't know, a bandit raid or something like that, unless the dragon might be flying overhead at that point. But it'll come down and help them from like natural disasters or droughts or that sort of stuff. And as kind of like a what is it? A gift? All the villagers, whenever a new child is born, the parents must then make a pilgrimage with the child to go see the dragon, and the dragon gets to name the child every single time. And then it's not like it's a hard pilgrimage. Like two parents and a child and a newborn child would be able to make it, but there is some slight difficulties. So they usually send a couple more people with them in order to make sure that they're safe along the way. So maybe at this point they see you guys coming through and like, oh, cool. Adventurers, would you be willing to help this family bring their child to get named? That sort of thing. And these children also want to go because they want to bring some pictures to the dragon. And that's kind of part of the dragon's hoard. I think that would be kind of a cute one. And then on this particular venture, that's a good thing you were with them because bad things are happening. Or it's a low-level adventure and you make a friend with a very powerful creature. It'd be kind of neat. Or make an enemy, depending on how your players are. They're making an enemy, probably.
Now, the most obvious plot hook off the top of my head I can think of is to have the dragon function as someone that offers healing to the party. Maybe they're trying to lift a curse. Maybe they're trying to bring someone back to life. Maybe they're trying to rid themselves of a random disease. Whatever the case, taking up a quest to find an Alicorn dragon and to ask it for aid could be a really cool excuse to have your party venture into the Feywild. Once they reach the dragon, it of course will put them through their paces, testing them to see if they're pure of heart and therefore worthy of receiving its help. And what these tests might be could be anything. It could be something as simple as getting them to paint the dragon a piece of art so that they can stick it on the fridge, or it could be something as complex as uprooting a villainous cult that's taken root in a nearby city. It's also possible the party is seeking asylum with the dragon. Maybe they're on the run from someone or something.
That dragon must have the biggest fridge for all the kids' artwork. Hell yeah. This dragon's entire, what's it called? This dragon's entire hoard consists of children's artwork, a book of photos of all the kids that it has made connections with over the decades, and fridges. It just has like 50 fridges full of artwork that the children that it's raised have made for it. It'd be the cutest shit ever.
Thing really dangerous, and the Dragon Sanctuary provides a respite. They just have to convince the dragon they're worth the risk. As I mentioned, they really don't like violence, and unless directly insulted or their home is being assaulted by an impending threat, they're very unlikely to actually cause harm to anyone. Now that said, if there is an existential threat to the dragon, that's a different story. Another thing mentioned by the book is that poachers and dragon hunters often target Alicorn dragons for the purpose of harvesting their horn.
Of course. It's always going after the fucking horn on the friggin' unicorn type creatures. Rhinos, unicorns, alicorn creatures, narwhals. Literally, if they have one horn, for some reason, we just tell ourselves, we must take that one horn. That is the most important thing to grab.
Much like a unicorn's horn, it can be used as a powerful ingredient in all manner of magical concoctions or as a component for crafting powerful magic items. So maybe the party's been made an offer for a tremendous amount of gold to find a dragon's horn. Or if they're not awful people, perhaps they come across an alicorn wormling who is in danger of being hunted. Will they turn the creature over in exchange for monetary gain? Or will they defend the poor thing and help it escape, maybe even bringing it back to the fair?
That alicorn has a trench coat and a trench broom. Why does that alicorn dragon have a trench coat and a trench broom?
Where it can be safe and secure. I'm sure the dragon's parent would be extremely grateful to the adventurers and offer them something beyond any mere pile of riches. But I mean, a pile of riches is also good. Though however you choose to use this creature, I think they're truly awesome. And you can find them, along with a bunch of other fairy dragons, their stats, pages of lore, and tons of amazing artwork in the Battle Zoo Fairy Dragon Bestiary from Roll for Combat, this week's sponsor. A link to the book is in the description and the pinned comment down below. And if you want to pick up their other dragon books, you can even get all 4 of them bundled together right now for a big old discount, either as a PDF or a physical copy for D&D and Pathfinder. These books are pretty sick.
And really cool.
Because not only is there all this awesome dragon stuff for DMs, but they also include a litany of player options which allow you to play as all of the dragon species presented in the book, allowing you to undergo a mysterious ritual and literally be a dragon.
Oh, that's cool. I love that. Dragon absorption prerequisites, 9th level breath weapon, dragon mage archetype. You can absorb magic from your foes' spells to recharge your breath weapon. When you roll a natural 20 on a saving throw against a spell or magical effect, you regain use of your breath weapon as if you had finished a short or long rest. You can benefit from draconic absorption at most once until the next time you finish a short or long rest. That's cool. Corona of Power. Oh, okay, that's really neat. That's really neat. A book that actually gives you the ability to actually play as a dragon. I kind of like that.
Which I know sounds like the most unbalanced thing ever,
Probably.
but it's actually very on par with all the other first party 5e stuff, so if that sounds cool to you, you should check it out. And if you want to go all in on...
So the dragon, it's a class. It's a full-on class of just the dragon. Breath weapon, draconic surge, draconic archetype, evolution, draconic gift, archetype feature, ASI, extra attack at 5th level. So it looks like... So it's definitely a martial class. Do I see where its hit points are? It's probably a D8 or a D10. Probably a D10.
playing as a dragon instead of just choosing the dragon ancestry they offer, they do even have a dedicated 1 to 20 dragon class with multiple subclass options that enable you to feel like an actual factual dragon, which is very fun. So check it out, DMs. Have fun deploying your new and creative dragons on your party, and players, have fun being the dragon you were meant to be. But that's all I got for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hell yeah, brother. That was great. And guys, I hope you liked the drawing. I'm not sure how I'm going to be putting it into the video. Kind of liked how I did it in the last one, but unfortunately the screen recording I did was not the greatest. So we're going to try a different way of doing that. We're going to keep on testing it out. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Bye. Hey, did you enjoy that? Was it funny? Well, come and check it out live over on twitch.tv/freeform_art. Make sure you put the _art. We have lots of fun there. We enjoy ourselves, and we want to see you over there. So come on and hang out. See you in a bit.